Good morning. Oh my God, what a nice meditation today. And there was something that I said yesterday that sometimes when I make a video, there's something that I just comes out of my mouth and I realize like, ooh, that's what I should go into tomorrow. And if nothing else comes up that I feel should be what I explore, then that's what I do. And when I talked about, I'm trying to remember how I said it. That I sometimes if I feel like I don't walk the talk, like I don't embody the things that I recommend, I'll definitely let you know. Like, I'm not trying to pretend to be perfect, right? And when I was saying that, I felt very emotional. I started to cry, but a part of me, and it was funny, part of it was consciously, like I tried to maybe hold it in a little bit so that my family wouldn't get worried and all that kind of stuff. And then it's a much more complex situation, of course, like there's much more involved. But then also part of me was kind of like unconsciously, like without trying, I think we're, from the time we grow up, we are conditioned kind of to hold emotions in, to not show emotions as much, right? When you're told like, don't cry, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. And whenever kids are very emotional, parents tend to suggest in different ways that they should suppress their emotions, sometimes in unconscious ways, conscious ways, without trying. They're sending the message that they should hold back their emotions, right? So, like I said, it's not always that easy to walk the talk, even though we know what we should do, we know what would be best. Of course, in theory, like in the books, that's what we aspire to do. That's who we aspire to be, how we hope we can be. But the thing that I wanted to share today is that it doesn't matter how long it takes you to actually embody the wisdom that you acquire throughout life. You're gonna learn something through a video, a book, a podcast, and life conversations and your own experiences, and you're gonna learn and have insights that you know deep inside that that's the person that I want to be. Like, that's more in the direction of how I want to be with myself, how I want to treat people, who I want to be and become, and that kind of stuff. And we know that at an intellectual level, but it's completely different than actually fully embodying that wisdom, especially nowadays in society, because we have information overload and mental overstimulation, that we're always learning, always. It's so much easier to acquire wisdom nowadays, right? Thousands of years ago, we just had the village elder that would spread the wisdom throughout the whole village, and like they probably learned from the older generations. And nowadays there's people sharing wisdom all over social media all the time. So we have that overstimulation, that mental overstimulation. And we think, okay, now I've changed. Now I'm a new person. And then a week later, you get triggered. And we go back to being that little wounded child that hasn't healed that wound, that we get incredibly triggered. And we beat ourselves up because we were not able to be that perfect little version of ourselves that we envision ourselves to be. And it's a funny cycle to be in. I was there for a long time, and I sometimes fall back into it a little bit without trying. Like, I don't know. It's really really interesting that I've been into a spiritual journey. I've been into spirituality for years, and I've been in the nutrition field learning about health for over a decade now. And it's like, when I make choices that are not, I know maybe are not the ideal for me, right? The perfectly healthy whatever lifestyle or diet. In the past, I used to be very hard on myself, like, why are you coming out of your plan, and why are you self-sabotaging, and why this and why that, and I'll be really hard on myself. And eventually I realized, like, okay, I'm a human being, like I always talk about. I have feelings, I have emotions. It's not that easy. Like, it's not just a linear path in life, right? It's not like, here's where I am, here's where I want to get to, this is going to be my path, right? It goes all over the place, and up and down and up and down and all over the place, and eventually you will get there. And you will that's funny. They're hanging out there. That's a nice dog. I've seen so many cool dogs around. And we think that, okay, I learned this new insight today, so I should be that person right away, starting tomorrow morning. And it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Like, we learn, like, I want to be more loving. Like, that inspires me. I want to be the most loving person I know. I need to get there right away. We like force it, like, just be loving. Just be loving. And then you get triggered. Like, inevitably, something's going to happen. Life is going to test you. Family, friends, partners, right? They're going to, quote unquote, test you. Not in a bad way. It's not a... It's just life trying to get you to see the parts of yourself where maybe you judge yourself a little too much, or maybe you're trying a little too hard to become someone that you want to be, but you're not there yet. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm tired of trying to pretend to be perfect. I'm not even trying to pretend in videos, like even with myself. Trying to pretend like I'm perfect, like I have no triggers, I have no weaknesses, I have no nothing, like I have no patterns, no behavior patterns that I don't like, right? And I never emotionally eat, never overeat, always perfectly on point with what I know I should do. Right? That's like a silly goal to have, and we still all have it. So I don't know. It's just a funny little cycle that we go through as human beings. So remember, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to embody the wisdom that you have up here. We can't rush a process that can't be rushed. You will get there. Just allow yourself, give yourself the gift of taking as long as you need to get there. Because maybe the less pressure you put on yourself, the faster and easier you'll get to where you want to get to. Hope that helps. I'll see you tomorrow.